Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special little classroom session. Today, we're going to explore a really important topic that helps keep us all healthy and strong: viruses and vaccines. My name is Lin Tao Peng, and I'm so excited to share some cool science with you. We're going to learn about tiny things called viruses and how amazing vaccines are at protecting us. Get ready for an adventure into the world inside our bodies and how we can be super healthy. This is a fantastic opportunity to understand how we can all play a part in staying well and helping our friends and family stay well too. Have you ever heard of something so tiny you can't even see it, but it can still make you feel yucky? Well, that's what viruses are like. Think of them as super tiny monsters, so small that you need a special microscope to see them. They're not like the friendly monsters in cartoons. These little guys can sometimes cause trouble. You might have heard of some of them, like the flu, which gives you a cough and sniffles, or chickenpox, which makes you itchy. And more recently, we've all learned about COVID-19. These are all examples of those invisible, tiny monsters we call viruses. So, what exactly are these viruses? Imagine a tiny invader that wants to sneak into your body. Viruses are like little spies that try to get inside our cells, which are the building blocks of our bodies. Once they're inside, they hide and try to make more copies of themselves. When they do this, they can sometimes make us feel sick. You might get a cough, a fever, or a runny nose. It's like these little invaders are causing a commotion inside, making us feel tired or unwell. They are truly little invaders that can cause big problems if our bodies aren't ready for them. Now, how do these tiny invaders move from one person to another? Viruses are very clever at spreading. One common way is when someone coughs or sneezes. When you cough or sneeze, tiny invisible droplets fly out, and these droplets can carry viruses. If those droplets land on someone else, or on a surface that someone else touches, the virus can spread. That's why it's so important to cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. Another way they spread is if you touch something with virus germs on it, then touch your face, especially your mouth, nose, or eyes, without washing your hands first. It's like a secret handshake for germs. Luckily, our bodies have an amazing defense system, like a superhero army called the immune system. This army is made up of special cells, like little soldiers, called white blood cells. Their job is to protect us from all sorts of germs, including those sneaky viruses. When a virus tries to invade, these little soldiers jump into action to fight them off. But here's the thing. The very first time our body's army meets a new virus, they don't know what it looks like. So, they have to learn how to fight it. And that can take a little bit of time, which is why we sometimes feel sick. So, if our body's army needs to learn, how can we help them be ready? That's where vaccines come in. A vaccine is like a special training camp for our body's soldiers. It's not the real virus, but it looks enough like the virus to teach our soldiers what the bad guys look like. It's like showing them a picture of the virus, or a harmless part of it, so they can practice fighting. This way, our body's army learns how to recognize and fight that specific virus without us actually getting sick. It's a clever way to prepare our defenses. Let's think about how this training camp helps us. Imagine our body's soldiers without a vaccine. If a new virus comes along, they've never seen it before. They have to figure out how to fight it all by themselves, and that takes a long time. During that time, the virus can make us feel very sick. But with a vaccine, our soldiers have already been to training camp. They know exactly what the virus looks like, and they know how to fight it. So when the real virus tries to invade, our soldiers are ready. They can fight back super fast and win the battle before we even feel very sick. Vaccines make our body's army smarter, faster, and stronger. Vaccines offer some truly amazing benefits for all of us. First, they protect us from getting very sick. Instead of being really unwell and having to stay home from school or play, vaccines help our bodies fight off viruses, so we might not get sick at all, or only get a little bit sick. Second, when we get vaccinated, we also help protect our families and friends. If we don't get sick, we can't pass the virus to others, especially those who might be too young or too old to get vaccinated themselves. And here's a really cool thing. If almost everyone gets vaccinated, viruses have nowhere to go. This is called herd protection, and it means we all work together to keep our community healthy. There are many important vaccines that help protect kids from common illnesses. For example, there's the flu vaccine, which helps protect you from getting the flu each year. There are also vaccines for measles, which used to make many children very sick, and for chickenpox, which causes itchy spots. And of course, there's the COVID-19 vaccine, which helps protect against that particular virus. Think of each vaccine you get as collecting a special protection badge. The more protection badges you have, the more prepared your body's army is to fight off different kinds of viruses and keep you healthy. Now, let's talk about shots. Sometimes vaccines are given as a shot, which can feel like a quick pinch, a bit like a mosquito bite. It's over very, very fast. But not all vaccines are shots. Some can be given as a sugar pill to swallow, or even as a spray in your nose. No matter how they're given, the important thing to remember is that a tiny moment of discomfort, or no discomfort at all, can give you years and years of protection. It's a small price to pay for keeping your body strong and ready to fight off those tiny invaders. Besides vaccines, there are many everyday things we can do to protect ourselves and others from germs. One of the most important is to wash your hands often with soap and water, especially after playing, before eating, and after using the bathroom. Another great tip is to try not to touch your eyes, nose, or mouth with dirty hands because that's how germs can easily get into your body. Always remember to cover your coughs and sneezes, either with a tissue or into your elbow, to stop germs from spreading. And if you ever feel sick, it's best to rest at home or maybe wear a mask to protect your friends and family from catching the germs. If you want to learn even more about viruses and vaccines in a fun way, I have a great resource for you. There's a fantastic website called yes2vaccines.org. It's full of exciting stories, engaging videos, and lots of learning activities that are perfect for both kids and parents to explore together. You can discover more about how your body stays healthy and why vaccines are so important. It's a wonderful place to continue your journey of understanding health and wellness. Remember, it's all about saying yes to health and yes to vaccines. Alright, it's time for a quick mini quiz to see what you've learned today. Don't worry, it's just for fun. Think about these questions. First, what are viruses like? What did we compare them to? Second, what are vaccines like? What special place did we say they were similar to? And third, why do we need vaccines? What's the big reason we get them? Take a moment to think about your answers. Let's see how you did on our mini quiz. For our first question, what are viruses like? The answer is, they're like little monsters. Tiny, invisible invaders that can make us sick. The second question, what are vaccines like? The answer is, they're like a training camp. They prepare our body's army to fight off viruses. And for our last question, why do we need vaccines? The answer is, to protect ourselves and others. They help keep us healthy and stop germs from spreading in our community. Great job, everyone. To sum up everything we've learned today, remember that viruses are those tiny, invisible little monsters that can try to make us sick. But the good news is, vaccines are our amazing shield. They train our body's army to be strong and ready to fight off those invaders. So we say no to viruses and a big, loud yes to vaccines. By understanding how viruses work and how vaccines protect us, we can all be health champions and help keep ourselves, our families, and our communities safe and healthy. Thank you for being such great listeners and learners today.